Hang on, I'm coming. Oh yeah, please. Yeah, come in. I just can't stand very long, so I have to sit down.
So this is Jackie.
Hi.
I don't know if you know Trina.
No, no, you come in. I just feel I'm more comfortable in and out. Yeah, absolutely. The cancer makes you like cancer.
Eh.
Oh, they're little babies.
All right.
I'm real sorry we haven't been able to contact you much.
Hey.
This
Hi,
is my,
kitty, kitty.
I became the, Trino been gone like 4 weeks now.
Sit here.
Oh,
I'm gonna sit down.
oh,
Jackie, you can
okay.
sit here.
Yeah,
All righty.
yeah, because that way I can
Okay, that
move
sounds
down.
good.
It's a tight fit, but once you sit
No,
down,
it's
it's
cozy though.
once you sit down and get your spot, it
Yeah.
has a good vibe.
Cool. Thank you for having me, Miss Ramona.
Oh, nice to
I
meet you.
appreciate that.
You're a new worker, hot team.
Oh yeah, I've been with Hot Team.
She's OG.
Oh, okay, a long time then.
Yeah, yeah.
The cat's gonna be really nosy. She's super friendly. They're only 7 months.
Well,
Yeah.
you know they got they have a sense too of other cats. Like me and Matt both sit here as Leos. We got the little cat spirit.
Oh yeah, they're
Uh-huh.
happy. They're happy guys. They're happy
Oh, I
guys.
love that.
Yeah.
It's a book, a Gorgon,
Oh,
right?
I gotta. If you mind, I take my mask off. Is that okay?
No,
Okay.
please
Yeah.
do. Yeah.
I had a terrible accident last night. I'm so upset from it. I'm just shaking even. So I had to come sit down. I poured boiling water on my foot,
Oh no.
That
straight on my foot.
Oh,
This
that
one
one.
right there. And so far, it's like I'm just.
In a lot of pain.
No, I have a issue down where I don't feel my extremities. You know, I have like a barium poisoning basically. I
Oh,
told you she'd be nosy.
you
So
being too nosy.
so
You in my face.
I'm not feeling any pain,
Yeah.
which is a
Yeah.
good thing, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
at the same time, it's doing its swelling, and so maybe you could send the hot street
I
medicine
was gonna
people
say, how
over.
about if we get a nurse out to here for
Yeah,
you?
because it happened last night, and I'm just like this right now. I'm just shaking, just even
I'll
talking
push
about
to
it.
get one on Thursday. Trina
Let's
finally comes back
get
Thursday.
down.
She's been gone a
Awesome.
month ish.
She's a nosy
Oh
girl.
no, she's territorial.
She's
She
no,
don't want
she just
what?
no, she just wants you to love her. Yeah.
I'm
Wow,
sorry,
I've
I.
never seen them that
Come here.
into
Come here.
people.
Come here.
Oh, that
With
is
me, they just sniff me and then they go away.
kitty
Okay.
kitty.
Now you
She
stop.
likes you.
They're very
Stop.
territorial though.
Stop.
That's the only pet I've ever had was
Stop.
a cat. And I'm gonna tell you, my
You're gonna
cat
quit.
was
I'll
like
put you in
that
the
about her
bathroom.
house.
I'll
She
put
was
you in the
like,
bathroom. You know I
no.
will.
I said, uh-uh.
You know
No,
I will.
I'm not
Stop.
going.
Stop.
So first things first, why don't
Okay.
we? Oh, I don't
Yeah.
have a phone because I'd call street medicine myself and just have them to be in the know that she's having a situation where she
Yeah.
needs to see a nurse.
Okay.
I'm just
I'm gonna be
concerned about
reporting
her.
everything back to the supervisors because a lot of like they were hearing about your recent encounter with ECS, and I'm gonna make a big report about everything. One of the things I'm gonna include is on Thursday I want a nurse so I can come out and see you on
Cool.
Thursday with the street
Yeah,
med.
that'll work.
So
So Thursday is okay. Do you feel like it's urgent?
No,
Okay.
I feel like
okay.
it could get super serious.
Okay, so then Thursday,
feel like it
Thursday
could.
will work.
It could. Come here, you go. Go.
Ooh, uh-oh.
Sorry, kitty.
Oh, she mad now.
Oh, it's what? Hi. Oh, that one's fat down there.
Oh no, that's the boy. He won't
He's
bother
gotten
you
big.
at all. Yeah, he
But
unless
he's fatter though.
he's huge.
He got real big since
He's
I last
just
seen him.
huge.
That's good. That's good.
That means they're happy.
Yeah, before you leave, I need you to sign the paper for the when you. I got it by the front door for the vet, homeless vet,
Okay.
and I get them fixed next month on the 24th because they're brother and sister. So I really need that to happen.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. You have some
what's the
incestuous kids.
latest on your situation so I can be in the know? Last time I was like, they were just about to sign everything off and send you up there, from what I remember, and
Hmm.
it was like
To
just the
Mendocino.
mechanic needed to
Yeah,
get paid, and then the guy had all the paperwork done,
that
and
was
you were gonna
August.
be up there,
That was August, I think, something like that. August.
like
Yeah, August.
beginning of September even. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I wrote Miss Baker at Janisha Baker, and I made an
Okay.
appeal about, what am I doing wrong? Why isn't this happening? It was only stage one cancer when it started, but now it's you know, like it's not getting treated. It's not. It's been 6 months, and it's just so I don't know what to think about that. All right, I'll just update you real quick. Made an appeal, and the next thing I know, John Warner, the director of Problem Specialists, he's out here picking up my papers for DMV to go take them himself. That was 15 days ago, and he sent me an email on the 12th saying that he was going to see if he could send someone out, which I thought that's what y'all were doing. There's some additional documents I'm supposed to sign. So that was on the 12th. Then he go back to DMV. They cleared the tickets, but see,
Oh, okay.
today
That's a plus.
Yes,
today,
it
no,
is.
no,
Yeah.
not really, because well, it is. There's no doubt about that. No, in 2 hours I get another one, and I eat
Mm,
that one. I have to
yes,
eat that one, right?
absolutely.
So you see where I'm at? Yeah.
Yes.
And I got a different mechanic. He's ready to go, but he's like a street gut mechanic, so he's in and out. Like I get him when I can get him, and that's it. Like he's a caretaker for several relatives. He's just an amazing guy. Like he literally drove over from Bayshore last week, and my car door broke, and I was just sitting there crying because I couldn't close my car door, and it was just one little thing he did, but he had to come all the way from over there. I made him a sandwich, cup of coffee, and
Nice.
he's supposed to be the mechanic to fix everything, and they won't call and hook up with him. Like they've called him once, and then um, that's it. It sounds like progress, right? Sounds
Sounds
like progress.
good.
Sounds good.
Everything is
Sounds
just
good. If you got
such
Warner
a,
on your back, that's a good. That's
yeah.
actually a good thing, because the director wouldn't be taking over the case unless he wanted it to get done.
Right. So I'm just patient. I lived in Mexico 7 years when I was very young, and I'm a very patient person.
Very good, because right now everything is such a process, and in that it requires patience. It really does, because
So,
progress will happen in small increments, but as long as it's moving in the right direction,
Right. I mean,
yeah,
I can't. Like the only thing is the cancer. If I didn't have breast cancer, I wouldn't be this. Now the burn on my foot, I'm really. I have mobility issues already. From
sure.
being on SSI, I have scoliosis in my hip and herniated discs, two of those. So I'm on SSI for that to begin with. So I'm just worried.
so
Now I'm worried about the burn getting infected and then that really turning into, because cancer and all that. And I'm not going to the hospital. Like
Yeah,
I'm gonna sit here and try to do what I'm keeping it covered, sterile. I'm not.
absolutely.
I'm not panicking, but at the same time, I'm, I'm mildly panicking.
Do you have a medical provider in the
I
community?
do. I have one in Contra Costa, but I'm in the process of changing over my
Transitioning.
insurance.
Yeah,
And not my insurance, but my SSI got messed up with my mailing address being over here, but my residence being in Contra Costa.
gotcha.
And to save my life for 10 days now, I've been on the phone I sent a priority letter the other day. Can't get them to switch it over for nothing. But I do have a doctor in Contra Costa that
Yeah.
I haven't seen her since the pandemic started. And I've been to my cancer doctors in Contra Costa, the oncologist, and all that stuff. And at this point, like the whole thing in the beginning was with ECS was get me up there so I can get my treatment done, chemotherapy, surgery, radiation. And I don't know why or how or this has become a 6 month process. Like this is, I don't know that.
I think between COVID, the powers that be, just the way things work, and everybody having to kind of connect those dots, sometimes that can impede, the process of speeding things, doing things as, expediently, because nothing is going to happen that
I'm
way
just gonna
almost.
take some notes. Is that
Excuse
okay?
Sure,
me,
yeah, go ahead.
I'm talking to this lady.
Go ahead. No, he's correct. He
I
knows.
just wanted her to know why I've got my phone out.
Yeah.
Okay.
So right.
Okay,
No
so,
problem.
but the thing about it is just, unfortunately, a lot of the stuff that's occurring right now in terms of the way things are going, in terms of, even rush cases, the most sensitive cases, sometimes even, just getting all the pieces together and everybody having a voice in it is taking longer than what it usually would.
I think what's happening is they're planning on sticking me out at the new RV place out in Candlestick Park.
Have
I,
you been there?
no, but when Mr. Warner came out, after we had our interview, he picked up the papers. Well, he just stayed outside. We didn't get interviewed. It was 5 minutes talking. Then at the end of the 5 minutes talking, he says, "Have you heard about the safe parking bingo?" And I was like, "My daughter lives in Oakland, my son in Richmond City, and my health care is a lot better here than up north. I don't really want to go up north. I just want to start my health care. But I want my repairs because I don't want to be stuck in San Francisco. Like
Yeah.
I don't want to be immobile. I've been immobile now since my husband died last year, and it's brutal on my mind. Like it's hurting my psyche to not be able to move. So I immediately wrote Miss Baker that night after I thought about it, like, oh, this is a trick, right? Because they're not going to open that till December.
Right.
I told the city attorney when I first started the lawsuit,
Yeah.
you could put me on the back of a court somewhere as long as I could just sit there and get this repaired and get fixed. Even if I got to do it myself, one little piece at a time with some street mechanic. But this, what is I'm going through right here? The hate, the people yelling, the constant waiting and waiting, and yes, 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 we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it. That's cruelty to a sick person.
So, about the actual spot in Northern California for your RV, is that pretty much a done deal?
I have delivered every single piece of paper they wanted as of August 20th. They got me to sign. They sent an identical paper. First, we had the financial assistance agreement. That was at the end of July. He got that and the W-9 from the RV park people.
Okay.
Then silence, silence, silence. I call up asking, complaining, and officially not, like, oh, what's happening. I mean, I'm like writing people at this point, like,
Right.
what's going on. So they tell me, because 2 weeks have gone by, and they tell me that I need another thing called an intent to rent that looks
Mm.
identical. It
Yeah.
asks for exactly the same information as the first piece of paper I just gave them. So I get Mitzi, Mitzi, right, got it. She's still up there at the park. They're supposed to be helping me with the cancer treatment and,
It's
the
one of our other
recovery.
clients
Yeah.
that ended up where she's trying to go.
In Mendocino.
Right. She's at the
Mendocino
Okay.
park.
Park,
They're
yeah.
waiting to be
Uh-huh.
my caregivers while I go through the chemo and the radiation and surgery
Good
and stuff.
people, actually.
Great
Nice.
people, yeah, great people. And there's,
Nice.
yeah,
Really nice to her.
but so we've known each other 12 years, so we're longtime friends. So uh, the 20th comes and goes. I get the paper to them. Nothing happens whatsoever. Nothing. Like everything is in place. And then we go all the way through till October 6th, and now they're saying, "Have you heard about safe parking?" So obviously, they're not going to pay the money for that. The money for the repair. I'll be amazed if I even get DMV out of this. The way it's going right now, that's been since September 3rd that I complained officially, like made an appeal status of it. That's been 50 days now.
Wow.
And I'm asking, what am I doing wrong to make this happen? I don't even want to go up there anymore. Don't want to go to Mendocino now. I don't want the first mechanic I had picked out because I don't trust him. He does not answer my texts at all. So I got the new guy in. They're not calling him. They're not trying to pay him. Uh, the Mendocino part's ready to go, but I'm a lot sicker than I was when this
Right.
started. Like I couldn't have stood outside and talked to you, literally. Like even on the bed, like I had to have something to lean on here. That's why you had to sit on the sofa and I had to sit here because I'm very, very sick.
Let me just say to you, I know we've just met, and just in a few moments I've been here, I'm almost overwhelmed with what you're going through right now, and I want to
It's
let
my
you
husband's
know
death that makes it so horrific.
that,
That's what makes it just so. It's
and
been
I
15 months.
totally understand how a loss of a partner can be, trust me.
Thank you.
Without sharing too much, I can just say that I know that feeling.
Oh,
And
my
I don't think
condol. Yeah.
you ever are the same again once that happens, but you do get a chance, an opportunity at some point if you just stick with it to move forward. But that's in your own time,
Oh yeah.
and
It's
everybody's different.
yeah.
But you have grief coupled with the fact that you also have these very serious health issues.
Well, it's that. It's. I feel like I'm lucky that I'm going to him, not leaving
Yeah,
him. I'm deeply religious, but it's my children that are so upset because I'm not getting treatment. They're accusing me of being suicidal. My doctor is being like I'm service resistant, but it's my children, you know,
yeah.
to not get the treatment and to spend. At this point, it's gone up so much. Like I don't even know if it's worth doing the surgery and the stuff at this point. And that's where I'm at. And I don't know. I just want my vehicles fixed and legal where I can think. That's where I'm at. Like I'm just like if I were a middle class person or had credit cards, like I would just fix this, get the tags, they cleared the ticket, so that's an improvement.
That's definitely a
Yeah, that's
step in the
something.
right
Yeah, and
direction.
if once they make them catch up on the tags, like I really do feel it's a ladder I'm climbing out of. But why am I stewing in this problem 6 months
Okay.
in?
Can I interrupt? I'm gonna tell you what. So our main supervisor, Carol, is finally back from vacation, and I like to call her. She's somebody that knows how to light the fire under everybody's ass.
Absolutely.
So I've been recording basically everything, and I'm gonna send this all in an email to Carol, who can then basically get ECS to do what we want. She's
Yeah,
very powerful that way. It's one of her special skills. So what I've got first off is first thing you mentioned was the foot.
Yeah, thank
I'm
you.
gonna I mentioned that you spilled some water, boiling water on your foot, and me and Trina want the nurse on Thursday so we can visit.
Thank you.
Next up, you got your tickets paid off on your RV,
Yes.
but you still need the tags. I'm
Right.
gonna
He's
have
had the paperwork for 15 days today.
ECS has had paperwork for 15
days.
days,
Right.
so we can push them to get that.
Yeah.
Has had paperwork for 15 days. That's the last stuff registration wise.
Right.
Next up would be the mechanic. ECS has a mechanic in mind, but they
No,
won't
I have
contact them.
no. I have a street guy that I want him to, and he's going to do just everything. Like there's no communication at this point between
right.
the mechanic, and he's in and out. He works for lots of people, and his relatives take him away, and like when I can get him, I can. I mean, it's so stressful
So
even thinking about
you
how I'm going to
found
work this
you
out.
found the mechanic, but ECS won't talk to him. That's
No,
the issue.
they're I don't want to come across like that. I just want them to I don't want to come across like I'm complaining about anything because it's a really political situation over there with them. I don't know any other word to say it. Like I feel like I'm on a, excuse my French, a shit list. So, I'm just
Do you want me to mention that Ramona would appreciate some clarity about what's going on with her mechanic?
no,
Is
it's
that a
beautiful.
is that a
That
good
is,
way?
Speaking of
yeah,
politicians,
that would definitely
that's the
relieve
way to
her.
pay it. Yeah.
She she would appreciate clarity about what's going on with the mechanic.
Yeah,
That's beautifully put. I couldn't have put it better myself.
because I think
Your
a lot
English
of her
teachers would be proud of you for that sentence.
a lot of her stress results from not knowing
Okay, they
and
have
just being in
outside.
limbo.
This in on 29th to 31st is this, you should write this down, is Outside Lands is starting, and that's a huge concert
I
here.
know,
Okay,
right?
right? And this little place right here, of me, I can't move, and there's another lady up there who can't move either. Someone urinated into her gas tank.
Ew.
Yeah, right,
Remember, like day.
right.
Sorry.
I'm telling
We've been
you.
talking
Ex-coworker that got
conversations
fired
all
because
day.
he kept peeing
Oh
in bottles
my
during his
Oh.
shift.
Oh
He'd
no.
whip his ding dong out and they fired him, but
Yeah. Well, this guy did it right in a tank. That had to
That
be on
is
purpose. Yeah.
horrible.
But this mechanic that I've got, he knows how to fix that. He can get them running, but they can't. We can't get this to happen. Like, this guy is gung ho to help us, but when they tell us we gotta go, we've got to be towed out of here.
Yeah,
Or-
for
or
that concert.
the
It's
con-
like
the-
a concert
It's a
thing,
huge
right?
concert.
Huge.
It's huge. It's over on the other side of Sunset.
Yeah.
But this is the staging area for all the musicians. So they're gonna. I
Oh.
guarantee you, within a week, there's gonna be towaway
what
signs.
time is it gonna start? A week?
29th and the 31st. It's a 3-day
Starting. So what
29.
time do you think they'd come out and try to clear you?
in the next week.
Sometime
Yeah.
within
Yeah.
a week.
Because you're not the first person that I heard that has spoken about this and
Yes.
actually lives in the park. They were
Right.
also concerned of someone else
It's
that I dealt
bad.
with. Yeah.
Yeah. It's.
So they're
I've seen
actually
it
going to
before.
use this area.
Probably.
for staging.
Yeah. And plus it's a great way to get rid of us.
So I'm gonna say
because if you walk, when you drive and leave here, take a look.
Yeah.
Since I came here and there was nobody, it's kind of like me being here gives everyone else permission to slide in. And there's some shabby situations going on here. One guy doesn't even have an entire back wall to his RV, and
Wow.
Florida tags that are duct taped on. I never seen a more strange looking operation in my life. The Florida tags
we have.
do it. No, this guy, no, people out here are super stressed, and they don't even, they're talking to me about it, and I don't know what to tell them, but that it's about to happen. Like,
Yeah.
we all need to get ready, because this RV runs, it drives, it has brakes, but it doesn't have brake lights. The brakes aren't great. There's issues with the brakes, so it's nervy to drive, and you got to spray starter fluid on it to get it to start, and it's cranky, and it's not great. But it does drive. It does move.
drive.
It's operable.
So back to the RV spot, I'm gonna say the same sentence. Ramona would appreciate clarity about what is going on with.
No, I don't even want to go to up there anymore. I don't.
Okay.
I want to. As sick as I'm getting, I want to die around my children.
You want to go to the
I
candlestick one?
I don't know what I want about that candlestick. I don't know about that candlestick question mark. But I'm not going up 160 miles where my children can't come hold my hand when I take my last breath. I'm not doing that. And they can deal with me in Bayshore or right here on the street or Candlestick Park or whatever. But I'm a San Franciscan now. I lived here 17 years. I raised these kids on this beach right here in a black school bus.
Wow.
I mean, I have a book on Amazon about it, a book of essays called Nomadic Proud, about living out here in the hate and the fight to be free, living in vehicles.
Do you have any copies of it?
I don't. It's online, the Amazon. Yeah, it's just on Amazon.
I'd
I
love-
mean to keep copies, but I never have. I've never even gotten an actual physical copy myself of it. It's kind of like I've had it on there since 2016.
Oh, but you were able to compose it, though. That's
Yeah.
You gave them the input for it. Let me ask you something. I was telling Matt earlier about being a kid coming here. Do you remember Playland?
Oh goodness, I don't remember it myself, but
Oh, my
I know
God.
about it. I know about it. Yes.
I told him, I said,
You've got to know it.
Oh,
Oh,
my
yes,
God,
it was
when I was a
incredible.
kid, it was the most beautiful. It made Santa Cruz look like fairyland.
I've seen the pictures. It must have been
It
incredible.
was. They had this huge.
They
lady.
just waste this. They could do something like that right now, just a
Oh,
historical
my
reenactment of it.
Yes.
Oh, that would
my
it'd be the best
God.
tourist destination. Be better than Disneyland.
Yeah, exactly. But you have a lot of history here, raising children.
I have a lot of history here,
Yeah.
more than most.
Wow.
so
we're
I
hearing-
think. I'm sorry.
No, I
Like,
was saying that we're hearing what you're saying.
yeah, well, we came from Louisiana when marijuana was legalized. We were in on Santa Cruz on the beach in our school bus, a little newborn baby. You know, pictures all over the place of it. When they legalized pot, we came to West Coast to get out of Louisiana and that mentality and the hurricanes.
Oh yeah.
I'm from North Louisiana, but his whole family, my husband's whole family's from South Louisiana, and it turns into zombie land after every hurricane. And I wasn't having my kids grow up like that.
Yeah.
My kids are going to grow up on the West Coast. If there's an earthquake, there's an earthquake. But in every 3 or 4 times a year in Louisiana,
Yeah.
you got to run or you got to stay there and survive. And I've done it. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm not raising my kids like that. So we came to the West Coast in 97, 96,
Yeah.
97, and we stayed on this beach for 17 years. And so when the new laws came into place in 2013, and my husband had just got sick. We had liver cancer. That's what he passed from. So he had just gotten sick, and when they put the new laws in, he just didn't want to fight it anymore. He just wanted to go. So we moved to Antioch to a little private place that we stayed there 5 years until we found out it was being poisoned from a Superfund site that was dripping onto it. And that's why I'm sick. Yeah, that's why I don't have the feeling in my feet and so on and so forth. So we moved. He spent our last year on out on the river at Sherman Island in a beautiful little park until the pandemic hit. So I came back here because I'm used to it here. Like
Yeah.
it feels,
Right.
like my kids grew up here, and I know that like bringing my issues and putting them at the door of the Department of Homelessness is just seems on the surface to be like a premeditated move. Like, oh, here she comes a out of towner to get help. But for me, the only comfort I get is in this neighborhood. Like this neighborhood is where he and I loved each other and I raised our kids. We got married in this park. We got our wedding is in this park.
Mhm.
So that picture right there, the one under her face. So to go to Mendocino is not happening. Like I'm just not doing that. Like I'm not giving up San Francisco. After all, I thought I could. And see, that's the problem too. We should write that down because they're not giving me services at ECS unless I'm willing to leave. Like
Well,
people in RVs don't get their vehicles repaired. They don't get.
what's this about the new park in Candlestick though? The,
They're just clearing that area out there. They got 150 slots for it. They've talked. I was reading this in the paper. They've talked to 90 people that are on the side of the road out there. You know, the ones that are all out
Yeah.
there lined up.
Oh yeah.
But because according to the lawsuit, Boise ruling in that lawsuit, in order to sweep them, they have to have somewhere to put them.
Yes.
So,
Totally.
so that's they can't just go out in there like the old days.
And
Like
say get
when
out.
I lived
Yeah.
here, the old days that's what I mean. None of this Department of Homelessness or
All that
occupied
stuff.
nothing. It was pure
I'm
one on
with
one with the
you.
cops.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah,
They
one on one.
criminalized it, and if they told you to get out, they didn't give you any other options. Just get
No,
out.
that's what my book essays is about. Was what
Yeah.
raising children under that kind of is
Wow.
about.
That's
I
deep.
wrote 13 essays about it, and the subtitle of the book is way bad. It's a terrible subtitle. It's apartheid is not the same as segregation, and other lessons I never expected to learn in San Francisco.
What's bad about that? Is that your
Oh,
reality and
it's my
truth?
reality.
Then
This
it's
is
not bad.
apartheid.
Yes,
This is
it's
not even
not.
segregation. Candlestick Park will be segregation, which is better than apartheid.
Okay.
that's like what they did in South
South
Africa. Yeah.
Africa.
You
Oh, they
can't be
have
at all.
martial
You can't
law.
be
They
here
have
at all.
everything there. It's
So,
crazy.
so you can see where my attitude comes from with ECS. Right? They're not liking me much at all. And I'm very low key. I don't have any issues one on one with people.
Yeah.
I feel like I had to come to California to learn what it was like in the 40s in the South, the 50s and the 60s in the South. Okay?
Yeah.
And I mean, it's been my kids when they were little, the
Uh-huh.
cops would come in the bus for a well child checkup at 3 o'clock in the morning. Bang, 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 all the way down the side of the bus. The kids are up, boom, and the cops come in with their lights. Well, they'd come out of that school bus and they'd look at me and my husband and go, "Ooh, your kids are something." I said, "Oh yeah, did they read you their rights? Did they ask you if you had a warrant? to be in there in their space at 2 o'clock in the morning? And they said, yeah, something like that. Every
That's
time.
good.
Every time.
Because it sounds like that you really, really taught them well in terms of the fact that they even have rights.
It's
But
horrible.
what I wanted to ask you though, with all of that has happened, it sounds like you did a really good job with your children, though, in
Well,
spite of everything.
you know, I did. I got 5 of them.
Okay,
2 of them talk to me, 3 don't.
okay, and I.
The 2 are Marines, so
Uh-huh.
I think the Marines mess my boys up. So I kind of like that's part of that. But
I don't like them either.
well, no, I love them. I'm a hardcore military mom.
Military.
Yeah, I'm there for the military.
Are you a
I,
brat?
no, I'm an oil field.
Oh,
I
okay,
grew up overseas. My dad's a oil engineer, so
okay.
we're all in the oil business. Yeah, there she goes. She likes to be at the highest point in the house.
Your story is just amazing.
The thing I don't like is how a lot of the vets end up homeless after their service. That's
Well, of
what I'm
course,
not
but that's
about.
capitalism. That's
Yeah.
capitalism. It's very simple. There's a simple solution. You're sitting in it. You go online, if you start today and you Google RVs for the homeless, you will not find one article, not one. I have a file of 100 articles I want to present to court. You will not find a single article anywhere in America that says that people living in RVs is a solution.
Wow.
Not anywhere. We are the problem. We are a problem. We are the problem. It's capitalism. They don't want there to be a solution to homelessness because they just don't. They don't want to stick the RVs and they don't want to, because once you have a solution, the value starts to fall.
Things
Because
change. Yeah.
once you legalize this, what I live in, I have a bathroom, a kitchen, I have this. You're looking at it. I mean, all my memories, his ashes, all our photos. I mean, this is like a shrine to me, a sanctuary. But it's illegal to live in it. How is
Yeah.
that even possible in the housing market? If we had a perfect housing market, like if you could just walk out and rent something, that would be one thing, right? No, we don't have that at
No.
all.
Matt and I were talking this morning about all the new buildings that they're putting together downtown. Just downtown area in Mission alone,
Hmm.
that nobody can afford to live in. So they're just vacant. They're just sitting there, brand new buildings. What's up with that?
Because they're an investment for
Investment for
overseas.
later, yeah.
No, investment for foreigners.
Yeah,
Foreigners.
absolutely.
There's a
It has
lot of
Owned
to.
by a bunch of Chinese
Or the
people.
Well,
techies.
no, I'm not putting any label on any nationality. I'm saying because internationalists are not Chinese or Saudis or any. They're internationalists. They
Excuse
only
me.
care about the investment, and it's a good investment. It's they're stashing their money. In other words, they're like, oh, I've got all this money that I've made probably illegally. Let's open up the American housing market and stick some in and hide it,
Oh,
and it'll keep producing.
And they don't rent out the place; they just keep it
uh-huh.
sitting there and then sell it when they need
And
the
that is
cash.
just so
Well, just or even never
bad.
sell it. They,
Yeah,
this is
that's
like,
just
yeah,
sad.
That's
it's
just
something they
there.
borrow against inside their banking portfolio.
It's just there. And you look at
Right.
all the homelessness.
Well, again, we come back to the RVs
Yeah.
because if you had, I've lived in for 11 months now trying to get services on $974 a month and some food stamps. Okay, I haven't, not $1 has been invested in me by social services here in San Francisco. I have sat on this one street for 11 months. I haven't hurt anybody. I haven't caused any increase in services except for me taking out a bag or two of trash a day. I buy my water. I spend every penny here, so I am even not a big asset. I'm still an asset, right? But this right here doesn't make any money for anybody.
Exactly. And you have to understand that when you're looking at the powers that be, they always want to have their hand in the till. They need to be
I'm
able
all
to.
for them. I'm all for paying them rent.
But
Why can't we just pay them a market rent? Just make RV parks,
and just pay rent.
and I'll pay a third of my income in a heartbeat.
That sounds like a
I'll pay the
wonderful
money I'm going to
idea.
pay up there, but they're not about to do it because it devalues. All right, look, the SROs down there that people pay rent for. If people knew the minute you legalize this lifestyle, people like me are going to do it for free, and that's what they're afraid of.
Absolutely.
Everywhere in America, it's this problem. It is not just, it's just really bad in California. It's just,
Yeah.
but everywhere is the same thing. How is it possible that middle class and rich people can live like this? But once you go down to a certain level, no, you're going to warehouse people in a pandemic. You're going to put
Yeah.
families in sheds. The most, I can't take those new things they're doing, the sheds down in San Jose.
You don't like those?
No,
Why?
because for $11,000 you could buy this,
Yeah.
and people could have dignity, and they
Yeah.
could have privacy for their lives and their children, and their babies could grow up and not. I mean, the long term, it's not like that. There has to be an understanding that we exist, that people in RVs are the way. Like, what if the housing market really does do what all the financiers are saying? What if we get in a recession that turns into a depression? What are we going to do?
I think for them, they'd rather cross that bridge when they get to it, and
We
it's
are on the front
unfortunate.
line. We're on the front line.
Yeah.
We've got to be the voices for the people that need something more than sheds and tents. I
Yeah.
mean, when it comes time and you're on the inside, that's what I tell Trina all the time. I'm trying to turn you. Right
Yeah.
now,
And she will
Yeah.
be back, according to
I'm trying to make you see it
Charlene.
from this point of view, that when you go up to someone's house who's an RV dweller, they are the smartest people, and they're doing everything they can to survive. They're the smartest poor people you will meet. That they reached out and took for themselves. This is what America is. Okay, I don't mean to sound all patriotic and Republican and
Right.
everything, but
No, I get it.
but this is what we do. Like, we see a problem. Oh, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do this, and that's what we do in RVs. Like, we just need help getting, like the repairs, a little renovation. You see that floor when you walk across it. I'm losing it. Like, the floor is, when the RV froze, that whole floor went out when it defrosted. The whole floor, so you're walking literally on pipes and pieces of wood right there.
So let me ask you. So when you went to ECS, what were they willing to do in terms
Everything,
of support? Were they
everything.
willing to
Okay,
get the vehicle up, running,
both vehicles,
tags, everything?
both
It's just a
vehicles.
slow
The
process.
mechanic, the we have to take out the hazardous appliances so they
Okay.
won't fall through, and there's roof damage. They're willing to do that. They've said yes to, they've said no to a few things, like the motel for the mechanic, just because
Okay.
I need a place to go sit while the
Sure.
repairs are going on. They told me no to that, and they told me no to a driver to the RV
They
park.
hate to give people motel rooms. That's
Right. No,
just
and I'm
something they
pushing.
never
I know
do.
I'm pushing the
Yeah.
envelope. I know that. Like, I'm aware that I'm asking for something no one's ever
I think that's a
visualized.
reasonable accommodation, especially with your health. But at the same time, they're
I
the ones calling the
understand.
shots.
Right.
But the fact that they're willing to take what you have and bring it up to compliance levels is amazing. It's
Right.
just the like you were saying, without knowing, that can be very stressful. You got a
Exactly.
lot going on here, and everything you're just waiting for the word to say, which direction can I go? What's available? What are my options?
Did
Right.
All
you
of those things.
did you
Yeah.
like the guy, the John? What was his name? John.
Warner.
Did you like talking to him?
I like John.
I like everyone.
Do you think
Every single
I could
person I've
request
talked
that he
to.
gives you a phone call and updates you?
My phone is not working right. It drains immediately. As soon as I go to use it, I'm waiting on the
Oh,
Lifeline
because I
phone.
tried calling you too.
Yeah, the Lifeline phone. Like, I can get text messages and but then it goes boom.
How
As soon
about
as I talk to someone, but I got a Lifeline phone coming, but it's held up in the shortage thing. I got an email 3 days ago saying it's going to be a little bit longer.
an email
So
from him
email would be
with
fine.
with
Yeah.
email from John?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
But
we'll
You
do
know,
that.
but for you,
I,
that's going to
I
be
don't
a
want to go. I
safety
don't want
thing.
to go. I don't want to go to Mendocino anymore. And my repairs and everything are being based on going to Mendocino.
Oh, so there's a contingency. Gotcha.
What was his name? John.
John Warner. You
John
understand?
Warner.
You
Okay,
understand?
I'll tell them you'd like an email from him about all the current state of your
Yeah. Well, he
Yeah.
knows
situation.
that. Yeah, he knows that. Don't even do that. You don't. They know what's going on. There's
Okay.
something political going on here. I don't. I'd rather just let that unfold in its own little. Like, I'd appreciate you telling the lady Carolyn about
Yeah,
it.
because
I'll
she's a
just
great
say I'll
advocate.
just
Yeah,
say she wants
I'd like
clarity
an
on
email
stuff.
from her. How
Yeah.
about that? because
You
I've
know,
already,
from
John
Carol.
Warner just gives me this kind of mushiness that doesn't like turn into anything. And I just would like to talk to an action oriented person who could tell me, look, Candlestick is, I don't care where I go as long as I just get repaired and I can leave and go. I belong to a thing called Thousand Trails. It's a
Okay.
camping membership. There's 7 of them in the Bay Area and Sacramento on into the mountains. 7
Yeah.
campgrounds, $54 a month, and I can stay a week at a time at each one. At a time. Now, that was what I was doing when I came here, and that's what I want to go back to doing. Like I want to, I'm still paying my monthly membership dues, 54
Sounds
bucks.
like a timeshare for RVs.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
And I had asked ECS in the beginning to graduate me to the next level, which was called the Elite Package. It's a $700 deposit. Then your money goes up to $154 more, so it's like 208 altogether. But you can stay 21 days at a time in each campground then. And if there's 7 in the Bay Area, there's one up in Russian River, there's one down in Hollister, just south of Sacramento, Stockton, one north of Sacramento. Those 4 alone, I mean, I could be living, but they wouldn't approve it. They said it wasn't permanent housing.
Because you're moving around.
Oh.
Right.
Yeah, because see, if you notice, just by the amount of time they will allow you to stay there, lets you know they're not trying to let you be permanent. Because if every
Right.
21 days you gotta go,
Right, but
it's
if
not
but if you're
permanent.
taking your own home that is permanent and you're
Yeah.
putting it somewhere with security and people that drive around in carts and ask if you're okay, do you need anything, and gates, fences, bathrooms, showers, laundromats, tennis,
Yeah.
swimming pools, tennis courts, playgrounds, trees, nature everywhere. Why would I not? Why would that not be a?
A
I'd like,
permanent situation.
as long as this is permanent and it's fixed and it's running well, and that's what I went to court to ask for back in January. Right. That's what started all this.
But that's what I'm trying to explain to you is that's how they make the division. When they set that thing in there that says every 21 days you got to come out,
Right.
that's their way of not acknowledging permanent residents.
Right.
Because they do that downtown a lot. Like if
Yeah.
you just say, for instance, in the SROs, you got visitors that come
Mhm.
by. Every
That's
3
a
weeks,
tenant
you
law.
got to come out
Right.
of there,
It's a tenant law.
so that they
Right.
can say this is not permanent residence. But it creates a barrier for you because that's exactly what you need on that level.
Right, but at the way I tried to explain it to the court is that if I'm in the membership and I'm using the entire membership just going from different camping
Sites every 21
21
days.
days, but I'm still inside the membership and have the services and support, then it does become something permanent. So when they called me back in April, they said yes, they would do the camping pass.
Oh.
And then they changed their mind immediately. As soon as I got, oh, really? Let's go for it. And we got the mechanic and everything. And then it was, no, you got to go to a campground. You got to go somewhere permanent. They went back to the. So I went and found a campground. I could afford $400 a month. But I'm so much sicker now, 6 months later. I want to die with my children by me. I don't want to die where they can't get to me. Like
Absolutely.
I'm just that, like, I went to my husband and died in the first wave of the COVID. It was just me and him alone. We couldn't even go to a hospital. They couldn't see us. It was so traumatic.
Yes.
And I'm not put, like, my daughter comes and sees me, my son, and I'm not, like, birthdays, holidays, not regularly, and they live in roommate situations, so I can't be with them,
Okay.
but they, mostly, I want them to see me here. I want them to know I got this back. Because they grew up in this. This is their home too. Like not just being here, but
Well, Carol is going to be the person for you. And I'm going to tell you why. All of those angles that you're talking about, there's a way to kind of like bundle that or package it in a certain kind of way. She's great at presenting those
Okay.
types of situations and cases. So I know Matt is on the line to get her connected with you. But I may never see you again. So I want to tell you
Okay.
that it takes so much courage for you to be who you are right now. And I'm so proud of you.
Oh,
As
thank you.
from one woman to the next, I am so proud of you. I do relate to everything that you have shared here, and what I'm hearing from you is at the end of the day, you want to be able to leave this world with some form of dignity, and you're already invested in where you are, but the acknowledgement may not be enough. But I'm telling you, I get it on a personal level.
Thank
And I
you.
need you to know and understand that what you're doing, excuse my expression, is just totally and completely ballsy as hell because you're standing your ground. When you leave here, there people are actually going to be able to pick up pieces, off the computer that you've written about your life. You're sharing your life
Yes.
through this,
Yes.
and that's an amazing thing.
Yes.
Don't you dare for 1 minute think all of this is in vain because you're going to save lives somewhere down the
Oh,
line
thank
based
you.
on your story. And so that's my personal message to
Thank
you,
you.
Ramona.
Thank
And I'm
you.
going to be listening to hear from that. Trina, how you doing?
All
And
right.
my name is Jackie Freeman.
Nice to meet you, Miss Freeman. I
And
appreciate you.
I appreciate you. I just want to encourage you to continue to use your voice.
I will.
Please.
You can count on that.
Even
You
if
can
you don't
count
get
on
what you
that.
want, continue
Oh
to use
no,
it.
I've got what I want. I'm where we spent 17 years
Yeah.
of our life loving each other and our children.
Yeah.
And I'm in our home. And nothing, the first cop that came by, the only real cop visit I had in the very beginning, I said, "Sir, I've got a propane bottle in here. I'm going to let up and I'll blow it up before I will let you take me out of this RV. I will blow myself up in it." And I've not had any. The man gave me his
Wow.
card and I've only had to email him one time, and he wrote me back and he said, "Stay strong. This is going to work out for you."
And see,
From a cop.
that's what
Okay,
I'm
makes me
saying.
cry.
Everything that is happening right now matters.
Yes.
Matters. It matters because somebody else wanted to say what you're saying but did not. For you to say, I'd rather destroy it myself than give it to you and the system and
And
the
go
powers
in
that
a
you,
doorway. Let my kids see me die in a doorway or a shelter. I mean, God bless, no.
that touched him in a different sort
Oh
of a way.
yeah.
He was like, this lady really means this shit, and
Yeah, I
wow.
did. He asked me if I needed an ambulance or did I feel like I needed the mental people. I'm like, no, I just need to stay here until I can get out of here.
But you pushed empathy to him,
Oh yeah, no,
and he
I
had to
mean,
open up that
yeah.
door and let it in.
Oh, it could have
So,
gone either way. Yeah, it could have
yeah,
gone.
but
It's the cops. It's California.
yeah, yeah, but that says a lot about who you are,
Yeah.
the energy that you're projecting right now. I'm telling you, God help that you'll probably outlive all of us. But whenever you leave here, there will be memoirs. There will be your story. There will be people that will stand up and say, you know what, this lady had an incredible voice. And she stood for something so the rest of these people in RVs didn't have to fall for anything. And that's amazing.
I intend to make the judge when I went to them because of what happened to my husband. I said I want in camp sweeps to stop. Like I understand enough about the law and how to present it to you in the federal court. I want, in memory of my husband, I want sweeps to stop. And I say this to Trina all the time. I say it to Matt. He knows my little speech.
Yeah.
I want to see just parking lots with rows of RVs. And when you find a poor homeless person or family, you say, "Come here. Here's keys. Go inside, and we're gonna fix everything." But in the moment, this time right now, tonight, go sleep in here. Here's linens are in there. There's food in the cabinets. I mean, I get goosebumps, and I say this to everyone constantly. The reason there can't be that is because people hate gypsies. They don't want to see this back and forth. They don't want to see me sitting on this corner. So fine. Open up some camps, open up some RV parks, and you won't see us. I guarantee you, if you offer people a place to go, they will go there. The UNRRA Act in California says you can't discriminate against people in public accommodations. Where are the lawyers? Why does an amateur like me have to do this?
Because that's just been something you've been chosen for. But I want to say to you that none of that is
Only
in
God could
vain.
do this. You're absolutely right.
None of this is in vain. I want you to know that. That even God help us that it won't happen, but even if you don't get to see the movement behind it,
Right.
you saying what you're saying, planting those seeds and stuff, it will manifest itself one
Amen.
day to be able to help everybody else. We're getting ready to see as we walk out this door.
You're right. Oh, and I'm talking to people too.
And that's a
I'm
good
telling
thing.
them. I'm like,
Good.
no, this is how they tell me you can't die until you teach us how it is you're doing this. And I haven't
Absolutely.
got it yet. I mean, we're sitting here. How long have we been talking,
Yeah.
Matt?
Since I started meeting
Yeah.
you in
I
Richmond,
mean,
Terraville back in April.
yeah, right. So
But
like,
you're
this is ridiculous.
but you're still in the journey. It's still manifesting itself.
It is so unusual for
You
them
know?
to be doing this for me. And the truth of the matter is, now this is the absolute truth. We had this. Me and the deputy city attorney had a pre-conference call of a thing you got to do by rules to talk before your first case management conference. Both lawyers' sides have to
Okay.
talk, right? So
Yeah.
I'm the lawyer for my side, self-represented. And so I'm telling him on the 13th of April, look, this is the UNRWA Act. You can't do it like this. And this thing about me being from out of town, right to travel, and I'm laying it out, like
Yeah.
on the phone call.
He didn't expect for you to know that.
Well, the very next day,
Cool.
April 14th at noon, on my way back from the mammogram and the bad news, I get a phone call from ECS saying they're going to help me. So
See?
the UNRWA
Knowledge
Act,
is important.
that UNRWA Act is the deal, and that's what
No, you
yeah,
haven't. Knowledge is the deal. The Honor Act has been there.
that's
Had you
true.
not been able to know that, you would have been like everybody else, swept under the rug.
That's it.
Remember, your best part of your body as a human being is the brain.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Oh no, they got
And
that.
Yeah.
if you keep this one in shape, all the rest is gonna come through.
That's it. See,
Oh,
that right there. What you just said. That's why I'm not going to Mendocino, even if it costs me getting the repairs for the vehicle. I want you to say that to Carolyn or whoever. I'd
yeah.
rather talk to her than. It isn't that I don't want to talk to them. It's that we've talked and it's not going anywhere, and I'm tired of talking to marshmallows. Okay, I'm just
Yeah.
tired of talking to marshmallows. I talked to Miss Baker, Jamisha Baker, super
Yeah.
nice, wonderful.
Yeah.
The woman could be in medicine.
Uh
She
huh.
talks so nice, but
Right.
there's still nothing happening. And
Yeah.
I'm not hostile.
You
And
want to get shit done. Carol's
Yeah.
the one to talk
I'm
to.
just this guy's a street mechanic, but he is smart. He's
Yeah.
a genius. The
Yeah.
only person who's done anything on this vehicle is him. My front tires were dry rotted. They were going flat. This man, for no money, took each tire on the front, went all the way to Bayshore, and switched it out for an RV that's about to be towed that had the exact same tires.
Beautiful.
So twice he had to do each front tire. I had brand new tires in the back my husband had put on, but that guy, he did other stuff, and he's got a heart, and he knows he lives in an RV. He's just a street guy though. He's not an official, not a shop, but and he would need to be like, okay, this is what we're doing now. This module is the way I look at it, is modules.
Right.
Let's get it started and moving to the beach so we don't
Yeah.
get a street cleaning
Yeah.
ticket. Let's do this, and then we'll do this module and this, and then the people could pay him per module or per what parts were needed. Here's a card for O'Reilly's. Go. My dad, I'm from the oil business. I don't understand how this is even like. If you
Happen.
if you presented
Yeah.
me a problem like mine right now,
Yeah.
I could have this fixed in 12 hours. I'd be gone to somewhere. Like
Yeah.
the vehicle is not that bad. Well, maybe not 12 hours. I'm 72 hours. I feel like I could be up and gone if I could do it.
If
But
you had it your
if I
way.
had it where
Yeah.
I could just no, I've got two other people who are willing to come in and help him too for $200 each,
Yeah.
and they're gonna just swarm the RV and do the help him. He's a genius. Like he's a fabricator.
I believe you.
You know what I mean? Like he can
Oh,
take
yeah.
the broken pieces and put plexiglass on them, and suddenly you got a greenhouse
Yeah,
in your
yeah.
you got something happening. You want that broken AC off? Let's put a opening vent light with a fan where you can cool off in here without using electricity. That kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, he's the guy that I want for the next Gilligan's Island.
Exactly. He's the one you're gonna bring with
Yeah.
you. That's exactly how I feel
But
about Jeff.
listen,
Yeah.
when you connect with Carol, you make sure to make inclusive in your conversation all the things that you're saying to us, because Carol
I
is
think
a
emails
wonderful
such a good
professional.
way to do it too,
But
because then you
but
can
let
write
me
it out.
Yeah, I'm a good writer.
but let me just say, however you communicate, because
I'd
I
love
get
someone to
it.
just come down and see me too.
But I'm saying to you, Carol is not just a person that on those levels could really make all those things or put her hand in there and do what she can do in terms of advocacy, but
Right.
she's also a wonderful person to talk to.
Awesome.
She's an advocate of women and
Oh,
empowering women. This is some of my own personal experience with her.
right on.
So just being, in her presence, around her spirit, and with everything that you carry is someone very good to kind of bounce those things off of. And then she's an action type of person. If it can happen, she's gonna get in there.
I
And when
told,
you talked about the modules, I call it pieces.
yeah,
So,
they
but
do
it's the
too.
same thing.
Moving pieces.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and when
exactly.
you got moving parts and pieces and all that,
Yeah,
she's good at bringing them all together.
right.
So I think that's going to be an excellent move
That
for
would be
you.
amazing. That would.
Yeah,
I have no hostility anywhere. I see the bigger picture. I see how this. Like I understand historically why it's this way.
yes,
Like I get how it can, and I've lived it for 17 years in this
yeah,
town. Left for 5, and now I'm back here to just piece my life back together, and nothing is stopping that.
yes,
Like I've been
yes.
very controlled. Like I've
Uh-huh.
not ever lost my temper. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in getting upset with people. Like I don't. You give me hoops, I will jump them and ask you how many more times I need to jump them. Do you
And
want me to
you
do them
have a
backwards?
great spirit. I'm so glad that I met you. I know we got to get out of here because we got to wrap up a few more things.
Yep.
Miss Ramona, I wish you the best. I
Thank
think you're
you.
on the right path.
Thank you.
I think that the fact that you have the patience, based on everything you've gone through, like I said, your courage is amazing.
Thank you.
Please don't stop, because you got to remember that when you have a voice as big as yours, the impact goes far. It's not just about you anymore.
No,
This
no,
is
it's
about
not.
a
Yeah.
principled action that you're taking that's going to manifest itself into the help of others,
Well, I
just
tell I
like you.
tell Matt and Trina all the time. I said, wouldn't you like it if wouldn't you like your job more if things went my way?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
I would.
Yep.
I mean, wouldn't you just love to be able to just start going, hey man, here's the house over here, come get in it.
I
Okay, talk to you
definitely
later.
would. This is so cozy. Oh my God.
Yeah,
Well, you've done a great job in
I have
making this
literally
home.
found things on the street. I take a walk 3 times a day, and sometimes I have to come back for my car
You
and go get a
can
shelf or go get a sofa
This
or something.
is incredible.
I put all my anxiety in there.
Oh my God, I love.
That's what and when I get really like it's so full, I'm like, all right, God, there it is. Take all the anxiety out of this from me.
That is a Latin slam. That is
Yeah, and it's
gorgeous.
metal too.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Is it pewter? I mean,
I
is
think
it
it's pewter
silver?
too. No, it's pewter, I think. But it's
Yeah.
nice. Yeah, one of the homeless girls brought
Oh
it
my
to me.
God, look at the
She just opened the door and
engraving.
she's just said, "This is for you, Ramona." Yeah, I got a
That's
little.
a
Yeah,
great piece.
she's a sweetheart.
Well, listen, Ramona. Oh, Matt, did you want to wrap up some things with Miss
No,
Ramona?
I
You
got all my
good?
notes. I'm
Right
gonna.
on.
Okay, Miss Ramona.
Hey,
May I
nice to
hug
meet
you,
you. Oh yes.
please?
Thank you. Nice to
Oh,
meet you.
I'm gonna be praying for you too. Okay?
Oh, thank you
You're
very
welcome.
much. Thank
You're
you so
welcome.
You
Thank
much.
can
you
have
for
one for me if
having
you
me.
want
Oh,
to.
Okay? All right.
right on, guys.
Okay.
It
Bye
feels
bye.
encouraging when y'all come by.
Yep,
Okay.
I've got everything I need to write a really detailed
Appreciate
email.
it.
This is
Appreciate it.
gonna
And you
happen.
can always. I'll send you my email address. Just shove it real hard.
Okay.
I'll send
Sorry,
you.
you said okay.
Yes, of course. Just shove real hard on it. There you go. Yeah, it gets stuck. I'll send you. I'll text. I got your text, and I'll send you
Yeah.
my email address.
Thank you.
Almost. Bye, Miss Jackie. It was nice meeting you. Thank you.
We'll be
Thank
back
you.
on Thursday.
Good. Then we'll know what's going by then. Thank you. My book's on Amazon.